This is the Texaco Star Academic Challenge. Top flight competition between teams from Houston-area high schools. Now, here's the woman with the questions, Donna Rush.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Texaco Star Academic Challenge. In the next half hour, you are going to see some of Houston's brightest students competing to go on the competition to be named the City Academic Champions in the Texaco Star Academic Challenge. The two teams we have for you today are from Clear Lake High School and Bellaire High School. Before we begin our warm-up round, we want to remind you, teams, about the different sounds that you'll be hearing during this game. This sound means that your answer is correct. This signals an incorrect answer. And this signals the end of a quarter or the end of the game. Now we're going to begin the warm-up round, and before we do, just a reminder to wait until you are recognized by a judge before responding, and there is no talking amongst each of you before you answer a question during this round. This is the warm-up round, and we'll begin with a 5-point question. In the NFL, how is the order of the draft determined?
Bellaire, Patrick.
It's determined by inverse order of winning.
That is correct, with the Super Bowl winner picking last. For 10 points, French author Beaumarchais was born in 1732 and died in 1799, making him an exact contemporary of which famous American?
Bellaire, Patrick.
Benjamin Franklin.
Chance for Clear Lake.
Clear Lake, Andy H.
George Washington.
That is correct. For 5 points. Of physics, philosophy, biology, and mathematics, which discipline is often known in British universities as natural philosophy?
Clear Lake, Andy H.
Physics.
That is correct. For 10 points. In which year did France's Third Republic end when she surrendered to Germany?
Bellaire, Patrick.
1870.
Chance for Clear Lake.
Clear Lake, Paul.
1941.
Close. 1940 was the year we're looking for. For 5 points, and this is a visual, so please take a look at your monitor in the studio of Houston's 2. Identify the object or objects in the...
Bellaire, Alice.
That's a sundial. That is correct, for 5 points. Here's another 5-point question for you. President Carlos Salinas de Gortari visited with Bill Clinton in his first meeting with an international leader. Salinas is the president of...
Clear Lake, Andy H.
Bolivia.
Bellaire, Alice.
Mexico. That is correct. For 5 points. Here were Jimi Hendrix and hundreds of other dressed and undressed.
Clear Lake, Andy H.
Woodstock.
That is correct. Various rock bands there. For 10 points, scientists have learned that at biological temperatures, the reactant molecules do not have enough energy to overcome the energy of activation. Catalysts must exit. These are called...
exist.
Oh, excuse me. Catalysts must exist.
Bellaire, Patrick.
Enzymes.
These are called enzymes. All known enzymes are what kind of molecules?
Clear Lake, Andy H.
They're proteins.
That is correct. Proteins. For 5 points. Identify the emergency situation in which you'd use the Heimlich maneuver.
Clear Lake, Andy L.
Somebody's choking.
Correct. For 10 points, we have a music question for you, so listen carefully. How does every heart beat in this song?
Clear Lake, Paul.
Like a grand old flag.
Not what we're looking for.
Bellaire, Patrick.
Every heart beats true under red, white, and blue.
That is correct. It beats true. For 10 points. What term describes a jacket that overlaps in front and has two?
Bellaire, Edwin.
Double-breasted.
Correct. 2 rows of buttons. All right, we have a celebrity question for you now, and we need you to use your pencil and paper on this one because we can only play this question one time. Please take a look at your monitor in the studio of Houston's 2.
Hi, I'm Janet Landay, Assistant to the Director at the Museum of Fine Arts, Houston, and here's today's art question. In which of these pairs is the artist incorrectly linked to the medium? Woodcut, Dürer. American sculpture, Pollock. Chalk drawings, Hans Holbein. Urban tall buildings, Mies van der Rohe.
Bellaire, Patrick.
Pollock, American sculptor.
That is correct. Now we have a 5-point question for you. It's a large herbivorous dinosaur, perhaps the most familiar.
Clear Lake, Paul.
Brontosaurus.
That is correct. For 10 points. What is a drug called if decreasing its intake causes the user physical suffering?
Clear Lake, Paul.
Addictive.
That is correct. Here's another visual for you. Please take a look at the monitor in the studio of Houston's 2. Identify the painter of Madonna of the Rocks, or give the location of either of the two versions of this painting.
Clear Lake, Andy H.
Louvre.
In Paris, or the National Art Gallery in London are the answers we would accept. For 5 points. Now that gold chains are fashionable, masculine accessories, men may be more interested in reading what short story by Guy de Maupassant?
Bellaire, Alice.
The necklace. That is correct. And that signals the end of our warm-up round. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll take a look at that scoreboard, and we'll go right into the bonus round on the Texaco Star Academic Challenge. Welcome back to the Texaco Star Academic Challenge. The first round was a great win. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Clear Lake now at 60 points, Bellaire at 50, just a 10-point difference heading in to the bonus round. Before we begin this bonus round, we want to introduce our players for you. First of all, we're going to begin with Bellaire. We have Captain Danny David, and by the way, this is an all-senior team and an all-national merit semifinalist, each member is. He is captain, debate team president, secretary of the Model United Nations, and a scale competitor. That's a mock government organization. Alice Hugh attended the Hobie Leadership Seminar. She's treasurer of the debate team and president of Scale. Edwin Austin is an international baccalaureate diploma candidate, vice president of the Amateur Radio Club, and likes to play jazz piano. Patrick Oyomoba is president of Computer Club, secretary of Writers Society, and captain of the 1992 National Engineering Design Challenge. Alternates are David Abrams, Jerry Lynn, and their sponsor is Mrs. Ida Medlin. That is a team from Bellaire High School. And up on top, we have the team from Clear Lake. We have senior and the captain, Andy Hugh. He's president of Student Council and National Honor Society, as well as a National Merit semifinalist. Amy Brown is a junior, and she is on the cross-country and track teams and is a member of the Model United Nations Physics and Astronomy Club. Andy Lynn is a senior. He's a member of the Junior Engineering and Technological Society, Mu Alpha Theta, and the National Honor Society. Paul O'Brien is a senior and president of the Latin Club, a National Merit semifinalist, and member of JETS and Mu Alpha Theta. The alternates are Dwight Yin and Angel Yu. The head coach is Ellen Harley, and the assistant coach is Kelly Brawley. That is the team from Clear Lake High School. We also want to introduce our judges for today. He is Professor Tom Hudson with the Department of Physics at the University of Houston, as well as on the right there, Mike Mastandria, Executive Director of SCORE Unlimited. Now we're going to begin our bonus round, and as a reminder of how this works, the first team to properly answer a question will then have the opportunity to play for a bonus round. Right now, we're going to have a 10-point toss-up question. According to a 1990 announcement, which Texas city is scheduled to become the first city outside Washington, D.C., where U.S. paper money will be printed?
Clear Lake, Andy H.
Dallas.
This city was established as an army post and named in 1849 after a hero of the Mexican War.
Bellaire, Patrick.
Austin.
You were close. It was Fort Worth. Close to Dallas, but Fort Worth. So let's go to another toss-up question. For 10 points, name the 19th century American author of both romantic and moralistic novels. The son of a ship captain, he was a customs house worker and surveyor of...
Clear Lake, Paul.
Nathaniel Hawthorne.
That is correct. Now you may consult on bonus questions, but the answer should come from your team captain. Name the 4 countries on the continent of Africa whose names start with B. You'll earn 5 points for the first one. You can name 10 points for the second, and so forth until you were incorrect. Just fire when ready.
Botswana.
Your answer?
Benin, Burkina Faso, and Burundi. Some toughies there. We'll have another toss-up for you now worth 10 points. Identify the word that refers to a method of producing images or letters from sheets of cardboard, metal, or other materials from which images or letters have been cut away.
Bellaire, Alice.
Chance for Clear Lake.
Clear Lake, Amy.
Spoonful? That is correct. This bonus subject is year. During which years were American combat troops involved in World War II?
1941 1945. 41 45. 1941 through 45.
Right. For 10 points. Neanderthal man is discovered near Dusseldorf, Germany. Gail Borden receives a patent for condensing milk. The Crimean War ends. Sumner is canned by Brooks in the Senate. James Buchanan is elected president. In what year did all these events occur?
1856.
That is correct. For 15 points. When was the first nuclear reactor built?
1951.
1942. Let's go back to a toss-up question now for 5 points. This is a music question. Many composers wrote sets of variations, each based on a specific theme. Listen to this one and name the composer or the melody on which it is based.
Clear Lake, Andy H.
Chopin.
Listen, Bellaire.
Bellaire, Patrick.
Elgar.
Looking for Mozart and that Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And our toss-up question, another worth 10 points. Identify the state whose name can be traced back to the site of one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
Clear Lake, Paul.
Rhode Island.
That is correct. Your bonus category is Earth Science for 5 points. When one continental plate dips under another, the sinking plate gives rise to A, hurricanes, B, volcanoes, C, the formation of new islands in the ocean, or D, deep-seated earthquakes.
Deep-seated earthquakes.
Right. For 10 points. Most of Earth's fresh water is stored in what form?
In ice.
Correct. Glacial ice. For 15, what's the more common name for the tropical easterlies?
Trade winds. The trade winds?
Correct. And for 20 points, rounding out the bonus, what do scientists call those special currents of cold water responsible for the outstanding fishing in the Grand Banks in the North Atlantic and just offshore from Peru?
Is it El Nino? No. El Nino.
Looking for upwelling. Good guess, but upwelling. And another toss-up question for you for 10 points. Give the next 2 terms in the sequence. You may want to get your pencils out for this. Give the next 2 terms in the sequence beginning 0, 1, 8, 27.
Bellaire, Patrick.
Okay, 64, 125, 216.
That is correct. I was going to give you the 64, but you did fine just without me. And your bonus is going to be, slaves were common in Bible days. Name the person described for 5 points. Who was sold into slavery by his brothers?
Joseph.
For 10 points. Who killed an Egyptian for hitting a Hebrew slave and then had to run to save his life?
Moses.
Correct. 15 points. Who had a slave inform him that his sons and daughters had all been killed by a great wind?
Job.
Job.
Who was the slave Paul wrote his friend Philemon about?
Timothy.
Judge, have a pronoun- Thank you. Onesimus is who we were looking for on that one. And that marks the end of our bonus round. Stay with us, everyone. We'll take a look at that scoreboard when we come back. Plus, we'll begin our 60-second round, and students will have the opportunity to choose from these categories: Julius Caesar, Sigmund Freud, Henry Ford, and Ernest Hemingway on the Texaco Star Academic Challenge. Welcome back to the Texaco Star Academic Challenge. Still half the game to go, so a lot can happen. Before we go on, let's take a look at the scoreboard. Clear Lake now at 140 with Bellaire at 90, but as I said, still a long way to go. Let's see how they do. Before we begin our 60-second round, we want to let you know that all the questions for the Texaco Star Academic Challenge are written by Questions Unlimited of Columbus, Ohio. Now we're going to give Bellaire the opportunity to choose a category first since they are trailing slightly. What category would you like?
Caesar.
Okay, with Julius Caesar. Finish these quotations from the play by Shakespeare. Judges, start the clock. Beware the...
Ides of March.
The false dear Brutus is not an hour.
Stars,
but in ourselves.
Yond blank has a lean and hungry look.
Cassius.
But for my part, it was blank to me.
It was all Greek to me.
Oh, great.
Greek.
Greek. Oh, great.
When beggars die, there are no blank seen.
Stars.
Cowards die many times before their death. The blank never tastes of death but once.
Brave.
I come to bury Caesar, not to blank him.
Praise him.
This was the most unkindest blank of all.
Cut.
There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to...
Great victory.
This was the noblest blank of them all.
Roman.
That is correct. And if I'm correct, 60 points?
60 points.
60 points. Now, there were 4 questions missed. Now, Clear Lake will have the opportunity to answer these. I want to remind you, you may consult, but I need the answer from your captain. Question number 4. But for my part, it was blank to me.
All Greek to me.
When beggars die, there are no blank seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Answer?
Shooting stars.
I think I heard it up there. Comets? Did someone say that? No, but comets is what we were looking for. Cowards die many times before their deaths. The blank never tastes of death but once.
Your answer?
Courageous.
The valiant. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to...
Greatness.
Fortune is what we were looking for. Now we're going to give Clear Lake the opportunity to choose a category. What will it be?
Hemingway.
All right, in Hemingway, you now have 1 minute to answer as many questions as you can. Start the clock. In what country did Hemingway see combat during World War I?
Spain.
What war was the subject of Hemingway's only play, the 1938 drama, The Fifth Column?
Spanish Civil War.
What liberated capital did Hemingway claim to have entered before anyone else in 1944?
Paris.
What event forced Hemingway to leave his famed estate in Cuba?
Cuban Revolution. Communist Revolution. Communist Cuban Revolution.
What sport is described in Hemingway's Green Hills of Africa?
Soccer.
What Florida city is the site of Hemingway's novel To Have and Have Not?
St. Petersburg.
Protagonists Frederick Henry, Robert Jordan, and Jake Barnes are all variations on what tough Hemingway hero?
Code Hero.
What Hemingway title character admires Joe DiMaggio for having come from a family of fishermen?
Time runs out. 30 points.
30 points on that, and do they get the opportunity to answer question 8?
Yes, they do.
They do. So, Bellaire, you now have the opportunity to answer 4 questions and pick up 40 points. In what country did Hemingway see combat during World War I?
Italy.
Correct. What sport is described in Hemingway's Green Hills of Africa?
Hunting.
What Florida city is the site of Hemingway's novel To Have and Have Not?
Miami.
Key West is what we're looking for. What Hemingway title character admires Joe DiMaggio for having come from a family of fishermen?
Your answer?
The Old Man.
The Old Man and the Sea. So you had half of it there.
The title character.
No, you gave the answer to another one, Donna. The answer to that one was Nick Adams, but you gave the answer to another question, to the one down from that, which was number 8. So at this point, read question number 9, please, for Bellaire.
Okay. What 3-word phrase did Hemingway use as a definition for guts?
Grace under pressure.
Grace under pressure.
Grace under pressure.
That is correct. So congratulations on that, Bellaire. And you certainly showed grace under pressure on that one. That marks the end of our 60-second round, but stay with us. When we come back, we'll hit our expert round where the questions get even more difficult here on the Texaco Star Academic Challenge. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Texaco Star Academic Challenge. You can't get much tighter than this. Right now, let's take a look at that scoreboard. It's Clear Lake 180 and Bellaire at 180 as well. So let's get started in our Stump the Experts category. These questions are worth 15 and 20 points, but they are a little more difficult, team. So let's begin. This first one is a visual worth 15 points. So take a look at your monitor in the studio of Houston's 2. Name this best-selling author.
Bellaire, Alice.
Amy Tan. Correct. For 20 points. It opened on November 3rd, 1640, lasted until March 6th, 1660. What appropriate name is given to this historic session of the British House of Commons?
Bellaire, Patrick.
The Long Parliament.
Correct. For 15 points. More than 50 chemical elements occur in several forms called isotopes. Isotopes of the same element have the same number of protons and electrons, but a different...
Clear Lake, Andy H.
A different number of neutrons.
That is correct, but not what we're looking for, but a different number of neutrons. What do the naturally occurring isotopes potassium-40, calcium-48, zinc-64, and tin-124 have in common?
Bellaire, Edwin.
The radioactive.
Correct. Now you may need your pencils on this one as well for 20 points. State the distance between the following pairs of points: 7, 4, 10, 2.
Clear Lake, Paul.
4.
Chance for Bellaire.
Bellaire, Danny.
Square root of 13.
That's what we're looking for. Square root of 13. For 15 points. Facilities and improvements financed by the government for the good of everyone, including hospitals, bridges.
Bellaire, Alice.
Public good.
Clear Lake, Amy.
Public works. Correct. For 20 points, here's the music for you, so listen. What Broadway show debuted this song?
Clear Lake, Paul.
Forge and Best.
Bellaire, Alice.
Showboat. Funny Girl debuted the song. Funny Girl for 20 points. Coal, gas, and oil have long provided energy for humans. All are organic materials, but from different sources of matter. What is the basis from which these energy sources evolved?
Bellaire, Patrick.
Old plant and animal remains that have been pressurized.
We need you to be more specific in terms of differentiation.
Coal is from animal remains. Gas is from base plant remains, and oil is an intermediate form.
Chance for Clear Lake. It's oil and gas, animal matter, and coal of plant remains. And for 15 points. Justitia Omnibus is the motto of Washington, D.C. What does that mean?
Clear Lake, Paul.
Justice for all.
Correct. For 20 points. Logicians who study game theory are all familiar with this classic puzzle.
Clear Lake, Paul.
Wolf and Proof.
I'll continue. 2 men are arrested, held separately by police, and each is offered the choice of remaining silent or testifying against his partner. If one man accepts the deal and the other does not, the cooperator goes free while his partner goes to jail for 3 years. If each partner betrays the other, both serve 2 years, and if both remain silent, each serves only 1 year. What is the name for this conundrum?
Bellaire, Patrick.
The Prisoner's Game.
Close. Prisoner's Dilemma.
2
is what
minutes
we were looking
left.
For 20 points, what large mammals form a defensive circle with the young in the center?
Bellaire, Patrick.
Oxes.
Musk oxen, to be specific. Take a look at your monitor in the studio of Houston's 2 for this visual. This painting was finished in 1541 after 5 years of work. Name the man who did it.
Bellaire, Alice.
Bill Greco. Chance for Clear Lake.
Clear Lake, Paul.
Michelangelo.
Correct. Give me the correct English version of the Spanish proverb. Más vale tarde que nunca. Nunca.
Clear Lake, Paul.
The early bird gets the worm.
The last word I'll spell for you, N-U-N-C-A. Means better late than never. For 15 points, what is the title of the painting you've just seen?
Clear Lake, Paul.
Sistine Chapel.
Chance for Bellaire.
Bellaire, Alice.
The creation?
The Last Judgment. For 20 points, if Andrew Johnson had been impeached, Ben Wade of Ohio would have become president. Which position did Wade?
Clear Lake, Paul.
Speaker of the House.
Chance for Bellaire.
Bellaire, Edwin.
Secretary of State.
President pro tem of the Senate. For 15 points. This 1952 novel is based on a biblical story and is set in California's Salinas Valley. Can you name it?
Bellaire, Patrick.
The Grapes of Wrath.
Chance for Clear Lake.
Clear Lake, Andy H.
East of Eden.
Correct. For 20 points. The small people of Africa, known as the San,
Clear Lake, Andy H.
They are pygmies.
or Bushmen, or Bush, and that marks the end of the game. Judges, is the score correct? All right, the score, after consulting with the judges, the score is correct. That means Bellaire comes out the winner. A close game, 270 to 240. Great games by both players. Both teams want to congratulate you. Thank you for joining us on the Texaco Star Academic Challenge. We'll see you again next week with 2 more teams competing.
This morning at 10:30, catch another mind-bending episode of Teens on TV. You gotta trust me when I tell you that it's a lot more fun than working in the yard, so fake a fever and catch Teens on TV this morning at 10:30 on Houston's 2.
Join us again next Saturday when 2 more Houston area teams compete on the Texaco Star Academic Challenge.